Well, hello and welcome. Happy Tuesday evening to everybody around the country and around the world. I'm James J. This is Tuesday night GT4 series with Midwest Motorsports, round 14 of 15. That's right, we are wrapping it up. The season championship is still tight, especially up front. Brian Coxon and Jason Phillips are 100 points apart. So they have two races to decide the Pro Series championship. Tonight we're at Monza. Josh Bloom in the Mercedes has put it on the pole. Max Bauer is going to share the front row with him. Jason Phillips and Brian Coxon, your championship contenders, are going to have to go through the first chicane at Monza from the second row. Walker McNulty, Chase Fincher. Row 3, welcome to Midwest Motorsports, Chase. We're glad you're here. Mauricio Parada, also newcomer. Welcome, Mauricio. Andrew Willis, Travis Rowe round out the top 10. Justin Thaler, David Stark, Michael Odell, Steve Hansel, CJ Barzak, Justin Glickner, Ian Bakaitis, the leader in the AM division, qualified 17th. 18th, Taylor Montague. 19th, Stephen Halligan. 20th, Justin Shoup. 24 car field tonight. Andrew Miller is the only one serving a penalty starting from pit road. That lines up the grid. Circuit de Monza, one of the oldest racetracks on the planet. Built in 1922. The fastest Formula One circuit. As cars are rolling off. Good to see Max Bauer back in form again in the Aston Martin, purple Aston Martin. E2. So we're coming to the start line now. Here we go into the chicane. What are we going to see? Josh Bloom, the pace car is going to duck off. Josh Bloom in the white Mercedes is going to put the hammer down, and he's gone. All right, remember, it's a big chicane, really tight chicane. Turn 1, right, left. All 4Xs and above will be reviewed after the race. Josh Bloom in the white Mercedes. I expect these guys have been really clean so far. We're going to fight hard, but I expect to see a lot of space given as Jason Phillips and Brian Coxon. Jason Phillips in the orange and black Mercedes. Josh Bloom gets a good run out of the chicane, and he's gone. Side by side now for second around Curva Grande. Long sweeper before the next chicane. Side by side for third. And look at that. Jason Phillips makes it through all the way to second. Gets around Max Bauer. What a move. Brian Coxon hangs in there for fourth. Walker McNulty in the pink McLaren has a great start. Qualified fifth, currently running fifth. Here we go down the long straight into my favorite chicane, Ascari. The middle chicane, the right-hander right here. It really determines how much speed you can carry through that last left-hander down the long back straight into the Parabolica. And look at that, all single file. Looks like everybody's made it through. Look at that, everybody's still in the same group. Chase Fincher in the blue McLaren. Oh, Walker McNulty gets inside Brian Coxon around the Parabolica. That's the slipstream effect. And now Chase Fincher in the all blue, solid blue McLaren. Right up front, it's all Josh Bloom. He goes through the first chicane. Nice. Great job with the cameras here by Adam Sondag, doing the best he can to get as many cars as he can in the screen as Mauricio Parada. Looks like he brings the Mystery Machine paint job out. I believe that's Scooby-Doo on the side. His co-pilot. Got the cool red wheels. Chase Fincher up ahead. Jesse Coffey in the first BMW. Here we are riding with Mauricio, looking up at Chase Fincher. The Mercedes gets a good run on the McLaren into the two Lesmos. First one, or two right hand 90-degree turns. Using a look, see how much of the curb they're using here. Mauricio uses a lot of it. I think the Mercedes does a good job of swallowing that curb. Remember, these are fixed setups, so nobody can change the setup. I believe it's the Sprint setup that everybody has to use for their specific manufacturer. You can only change brake bias. So now this time, we'll see who gets the draft down to the Parabolica. The third place Max Bauer has pulled away a little bit now from Walker McNulty. Brian Coxon in the draft, and that was Andrew Willis back there with Justin Thaler. Oh, Walker McNulty misses the Parabolica, goes real wide. That's going to allow, just completely missed his braking point. Here he goes. Oh, just gets on the throttle too early. He went right from the brakes back to full throttle, and the car was not ready for it. Now he has to follow Brian Coxon. Oh, Mauricio gives him a little love tap in the back. They made it through. Chase Fincher now gets a good run out as we go around Curva Grande, which is a very long sweeping turn 3. For another left-right chicane. Left-right chicane is the one I always screw up, because it's a short run up to the Lesmos from here. You don't get it right, you lose a lot of time. Oh no, Walker McNulty's got an issue. Oh no. Deemed a racing incident, so it looks like something happened there. I'm glad Brian Coxon wasn't involved. Looks like Walker may have lifted to let him go by. Sportsman-like move. Jason Phillips now on the hunt. He's pulled away from Brian Coxon. And yeah, look at that, great shots. Thanks, Adam. Look at that gaggle of cars behind him. Mauricio and Chase Fincher, but here we go. Justin Thaler now. Andrew Willis too wide with Travis Rowe. Travis Rowe goes in front of David Stark now. David Stark gets a shock suspension full of the curb. Now it's side by side. Steve Hansel in the Milwaukee Aston Martin and CJ Barzak back here battling too. It's a two-wide Porsche battle between David Stark and Travis Rowe to come out of the Parabolica. They're still too wide. Steve Hansel has a great seat watching the battle up in front. And they finally go single file as Travis Rowe. There's Steve Hansel on the inside. David Stark has the racing line. Let's see how this plays out. Steve Hansel is known to have a very aggressive turn 1, the first chicane at Monza. Now he's going to have the inside line on the exit. But it looks like David Stark got a good entry. Steve Hansel left plenty of room. Great racing by these GT4 guys. 100% respect, a lot of give. They know that it's a 1 hour race. Anything can happen. Travis Rose sticks his nose out of Andrew Willis. All these guys are pros and they're showing why. Couple little bumpers here and there. Look at Jason Phillips. He's closed in on Josh Bloom. Josh Bloom has a clean track ahead. Same car. Jason Phillips is not going to push the issue too much unless Josh Bloom makes a mistake. He knows he's 2 positions ahead of Brian Coxon right now, which is not quite enough, but it would help in the championship. David Stark and Steve Hansel side by side now into Ascari under the bridge. It's a right, left, right. Or, sorry, left, right, left. Steve Hansel leaves David room. Crowley's changes up your rhythm through there, and CJ Barzak gets through as well. Now Ian Bakaitis in the black, number 22. Okay, it's number 60, but it's mission 22. Charity on his car. All right, CJ Barzak, Ian Bakaitis, Steve Hansel, and Justin Glickner this time. I forgot about the orange wheels on Justin Glickner there, as Glickner pokes his nose out behind Steve Hansel, but what can Ian do with CJ Barzak? As well as Steve Hansel closes in big time under braking. Nice job for Steve. And a great run out. Mercedes, first Aston Martin behind, but right now, Ian Bakaitis tucked into the bumper, right under the spoiler of CJ Barzak. Left and right before the Lesbos. A lot of curb there from CJ in the white and black number 25. Still single file, not far at all. Here's Walker McNulty inside Jesse Coffey in the BMW. Completes the pass. Justin Taylor behind, looking aggressive. Nice smooth move by Walker there. All right, Chase Fincher looks like he's made a move on Marussia. Oh, Marussia controlling the slide through that second S there at Ascari. Exactly what I was talking about. It's really hard to control the car through that second one. Turn 9, I believe it is. They're going to continue to race as Max Bauer has caught up now. Jason Phillips. Max Bauer, remember, was on the front row. Closes under braking. Oh, goes real deep in the Aston Martin. Fast hands to get the car back over. Changed direction. Lost a little time on the exit there. What can Jason Phillips do with Josh Bloom? I have a feeling it may come down to the pit stops. Or a mistake. But the racing ebb and flow of Monza becoming evident. Oh, Chase and Marussia here still having a great battle under the bridge headed to Ascari. Chase decides to give up the attack for now and not go side by side through there, but instead try to get a good run. I understand the McLarens seem to have a long gear, which you need around this turn. Marussia goes a little wide on the exit, and now in the slipstream, the McLaren of Chase Fincher pops out. It's all about the braking now. He's going to have an inside line. Walker McNulty tries to get Marussia as well. They touch. Little bit of fender rub. Walker settles back in. But Chase Fincher completes the pass. For now, it's still early days. Only 12 minutes gone. And side by side, into turn one we go for the lead. Jason Phillips in the black and yellow cannot complete the pass. I'm sure this allows Max Bauer to gain some of the time back. But instead of lifting, Jason Phillips decides to attack. If he can force Josh into a mistake. It did not happen that time. Here we are at the second chicane. Max Bauer now right in the slipstream. And don't forget, Brian Coxon, your points leader, right in fourth place. Just hoping to see some more side-by-side action in front so he can reel some time in. But they have made 5 seconds of lap time on fifth place. So these leaders definitely pulling away. No surprise to see the points leaders up in the front once again. Don't you love the action between the mystery machine of Mauricio Parado? Try to fight back on the McLarens. He's the Mercedes and the McLaren sandwich right now. And Walker McNulty pull out. Oh, look at Travis Rowe, Andrew Willis, David Stark, CJ Barzak. Again, this is for 11th on back. If you're new, the red designation is the amateur drivers. The blue is the pro drivers. Only I rating, minimal differences, no differences in performance of the vehicle or the driver. But a clear split at this track. Side by side now, Marussia, the mystery machine, has made it through the first chicane faster. And now Walker McNulty around Curva Grande. They can't go 3 wide into chicane, can they? Marussia leads them in, leaves room, closes the door. Chase does a great job sliding in. Walker McNulty still being aggressive. Into Lesmo 1. Let's see what happens. Walker McNulty's hard on the brakes. Leaves room on the exit for Chase. Plenty of room. Nice job, you guys. And one more Lesmo before another long straight. And that's going to let Jesse Coffey and the guys behind catch up, as well as Marussia pull away. Here's Jesse Coffey now on Chase Fincher. Jesse Coffey in the BMW with Michael Odell lurking in the 56 right behind, as well as Justin Taylor. Chase Fincher, Jesse Coffey up front. Through Ascari, Chase Fincher drops another position now. Michael Odell in the Aston Martin goes in attack mode as he tries to get a good exit. So does Justin Taylor. Justin Taylor needs a good run. Has not been his best GT4 series this season. He pokes out. Michael Odell goes defense, and Justin pops back out. There we are looking at Justin Taylor, his eyes focused on the 56 in front, trying to stay in that slipstream. Once again, thanks to Adam Sondag for running the cameras tonight. Doing a great job. And the overlays showing the different splits. Chase Fincher now under attack from Michael Odell in the black Aston Martin. BMW of Jesse Coffey held Chase up just a little bit. And that's all it took for Michael Odell to see an opening. There he is. No contact. Michael Odell lifts. Lets him have the turn, and Chase blows the corner. blows it. He's not going to gain any positions as he goes through the bumps, but you've served your penalty. Chase, let her rip. So just the threat of the Aston Martin inside, and Chase Fincher misses his braking zone. Here it is, hard on the brakes, but the McLaren just doesn't have the grip to stop. Does a good job of avoiding Jesse Coffey there, as well as causing chaos for the cars behind. So shout out to you, Chase Finch. Great driving here in this GT4 series. Shows a lot of racing IQ. Replay of David Stark and Andrew Willis. David Stark in the New Balance Porsche. Or Travis Rowe here. Oh, Travis Rowe misses the chicane also. That's the very first chicane. Has to serve through the S's. Does a great job avoiding those, but he definitely drops back behind CJ Barzak. So he loses at least 3 spots there, maybe more. Thanks for the replay, Adam. Here we go again. Oh no, your points leader, Brian Coxon and Lesmo's wide on the exit of Lesmo 2. Thankfully, it wasn't worse. Well, thankfully for Brian Coxon, I'm sure Jason Phillips wouldn't complain if he got held up a little longer. That did not help his lap time at all. Josh Bloom doing a great job leading from the front. Max Bauer and Jason Phillips are the only ones that can keep up with them so far. Josh Bloom showing his experience. Oh, Andrew Willis and Chase Fincher. Andrew Willis got held up big time. Something may have happened. Maybe he received damage or went off. That would be in the chicanes. Maybe he blew the same chicane. Finally goes to the second Lesmo, and now Steve Hansel might take advantage because Andrew Willis still hasn't regained the momentum that he lost from blowing the previous chicane. Oh, a 3-way battle behind. Steve Hansel does get by on the entry to Ascari. Then we got David Stark, CJ Barzak, and Travis Rowe still fighting back there as well. Incredible racing here, and this is for 11th. I have a sneaky suspicion that this is not, even though this is Chase Fincher's first Midwest Motorsports race, based on his I rating and the speed that he is showing, he has pulled away from this group in just one lap. So welcome to Midwest Motorsports, Chase. We hope you fit in. Hope you like it. Look at Mauricio and Walker McNulty still going at it. Leaving space for each other. That's how we race. Walker McNulty now wants the spot back. These guys are 9 seconds behind the leader. Oh, 9 seconds behind Brian Coxon. 11 seconds behind the leader. All right, CJ Barzak and Travis Rowe side by side. CJ Barzak losing some spots now. He may have blown the first chicane. Straightaway chicane, 90-90 straightaway chicane, straightaway parabolica. That sums up Monza. Lots of long straightaways and chicanes. Walker wants the spot back. Not sure if they're doing any bump drafting here. Doesn't look like it. Walker wants the spot back. Mauricio has the racing line. Unless Walker can clear him, Mauricio hard on the brakes, maintains position. Walker leaves space, and Mauricio takes the spot back. Michael O'Dell, is he going to bump draft with Walker? Or is he going to try to make a move? Justin Taylor's got a bird's eye view. No bump draft, but I'm sure Michael O'Dell and the Aston Martin had to roll out of the throttle just a little bit. See if he can get a better run out of the Parabolica. Down the long front straight, Walker McNulty does. Good exit this time out of the Parabolica, down the straight, past the pit garages. And not quite clear. Michael, now he's clear. And he goes defense right away. Mauricio in the mystery machine on the outside. Walker leaves him room to make the turn. They touch, but still land on the asphalt. All good. Great racing. Side by side. You got to love it. So it is possible to go too wide through these super tight chicanes at Monza. Walker straddling the sausage curb and leaving plenty of room on the inside. Here's the mystery machine, Scooby-Doo, in your living room. Side by side on the exit, Mauricio also leaves room. Great racing through the Lesmos. Looks like Walker got a better run through that second chicane. It's all good. DJ Barzak now side by side to the first Lesmo with David Stark. Oh, David Stark had to brake in the middle of the second Lesmo. Justin Glickner in the Porsche with red wheels might be able to gain advantage as they come down to Ascari. Nope, not this time. Fight for the lead up front. Here we go. Jason Phillips inside. Parabolica. The final corner before the start-finish line. This is where the race will be decided. So you need to time your run just right. Could this be practice for the final lap? Max Bauer in the purple Aston Martin, last season's GT4 champion in Midwest Motorsports, by the way. He's missed a couple of races this season through travel, and Jason Phillips is on the inside, but does not attempt to pass Josh Bloom. And don't look now, but Brian Cox in the McLaren has caught up. We have a four-way race for the lead now. Can they do it? Josh Bloom holding the lead. We got to stay here. The lead battle is what I want to watch. These guys, lap after lap after lap, continue to show why they are the top runners in the league. Josh Bloom, Jason Phillips, Max Bauer, Brian Coxon, 1, 2, 3, 4. Josh Bloom's had a couple of unfortunate errors, not all of his own doing this season, or he would be higher up in the points. Jason Phillips currently second in points. Max Bauer's missed some races due to work and travel. Brian Coxon, your points leader, 1, 2, 3, and 4. As they show us how to go through Ascari one last time down the long back stretch to the Parabolic, and you can see what a lead they've got. No other cars are even in the picture. Fifth place, still finally, Walker McNulty comes in the picture. The front four have broken away, and they are checking out. What a race. David Stark, CJ Barzak, all in front of Ian Bakaitis, who was the AM points leader and the highest placed amateur driver so far. Back up front, Jason Phillips in attack mode. Headed to the second chicane. Right, left. Into the two Lesmos we go. Good run that time. It's really hard to make passes through here. through Ascari one more time. A little bit of space now in between the guys. Max Bauer's lost touch with Jason Phillips for a second. Let's see if he regains him. So the pit window is open, and as soon as I say it, Max Bauer decides to come into the pit stop. As soon as I say something. So Max Bauer trying to do an undercut. Let's see what happens. As he's in the pits, some other guys take the opportunity. Andrew Willis. And there he goes. Let's see if anybody decides to stay out. Does Josh Bloom come in now? Or even run a couple of laps? Who knows? We'll find out here. Trying to reset my timing and scoring here. Sorry about that, guys. No change up front this time through the Parabolica. So we're going to come up on the pit entry. And Brian Coxon comes in, but Josh Bloom and Jason Phillips stay out. Oh, Jesse Coffey has had an incident. What happened to Jesse Coffey? Meatball, I'm told. Oh no, he goes back to the pits. I was in Lesmo 1. Oh, on the exit Lesmo 2. What happens? The BMW just overcorrects, tries to counter steer and save it. Lesmo 2 here runs wide. Yeah, just gets on the curb. And car continues to go right. That's unfortunate for him. All right, Brian Coxon and Walker McNulty, Justin Thaler, Kevin Mayer. They're the only two. There's a couple guys who still are staying out. Top 9 cars now stayed out. Max Bauer needs to turn out some really fast laps right now. Brian Coxon stays behind Max Bauer. Yep. Good thinking, Adam. On the same page. I think Brian Coxon was in 4th when Max Bauer came in from 3rd. Walker McNulty came in the same time with Max. Justin Thaler has made his pit stop. Uh-oh, he's caught up with Justin Glickner now too, but that's okay. Here we are. These guys are buddies. Justin Glickner and Justin Thaler always seem to find themselves together on track. I don't know who's got the bigger eye roll, Glickner or Thaler, but somehow they could be 20 cars apart in qualifying. They end up racing wheel to wheel during the race. Gives them something to talk about after the race, at least. All right, leaders are in. Let's see where they come out. Odell, Chase Fincher, Mauricio. David Stark still has chosen not to pit. The last man standing, David Stark, getting great gas mileage now, 32 minutes in. Josh Bloom was in first. Jason Phillips is rolling, and he comes out ahead of Josh Bloom. Josh Bloom dropped the clutch, buddy. Oh, no. Let's see how much time he loses. Does Max Bauer get by? Yes, he does. Max Bauer gets by Jason Phillips. New leader, Max Bauer, undercuts the leaders from third. 2 laps later, he's in the lead by 1.4 seconds. So in those laps when he's all by himself, Jason Phillips behind Josh Bloom, Max Bauer cranked out 2 incredibly fast laps. You can't pass him on the track, pass him in the pits. Did he get enough fuel? Maybe he did not take tires. Incredible. I'm amazed at what I see, but I'm perfectly happy with what we're seeing. Thanks for the great shots, Adam. Michael Odell and Walker McNulty battling it out. Walker McNulty 6th. I believe he came in 5th. So David Stark still hasn't pitted yet, so that's why. You got it, but it's all good. Max is the leader. Once David Stark comes in to get gas, and Michael Odell get past Walker, we'll see. David Stark, your leader. No choice. Max Bauer, 1.7 seconds now in the lead. The Aston Martin of Max Bauer showing his skills that he put on display last season when he was called the alien of the Discord chat. Josh Bloom, not out of it yet. Your pole sitter. The pit times, 31 for Jason Phillips. 30, maybe it was coming into the box. Did Josh Bloom just overshot his pit box or undershot it? I'm not sure. But the time they were stopped in the pit lanes is almost exactly the same. 29.4 for Max, 30.4 for Jason Phillips. That's just 1 second, so still a half a second. For Max Bauer, 30.6. So on the in-lap, the out-lap, getting up to speed, going through the gears, slowing down, decelerating before you hit the pit lane speed limiter. Those are the types of things that the professionals, the pros, do right every time. But even now, for 11th, Andrew Willis has it. Travis Rowe wants it. DJ Barzak is going to take whatever's left. If you like what you see, I know I do. These GT4 cars provide some great racing, especially in the Midwest Motorsports Series. If you want to join, scan the QR code on the screen. We have 3 racing leagues. Tuesday night is the GT4 Road Series. You can join anytime. Sign up is always free. Friday night is our Truck Series, starting at 9:30 Eastern. Sunday is our Cup Series, starting at 7 Eastern. Scan the QR code and join. It's always free, and you're more than welcome. Or you can go straight to midwest-motorsports.com and sign up today. We'd love to have you. Landon Sprinkle in the Marlboro McLaren now under attack from Mauricio Parada. And the Mystery Machine going side by side down the long back stretch, headed to Parabolica with Taylor Montague in the chrome green Mercedes right behind. Mauricio completes the pass. Landon leaves space. Jason Phillips And the black and orange Mercedes under attack from Brian Coxon. Did he make it? Nope. Jason Phillips still has it. Another paint I don't recognize there. 46. Assad Nikadambiev. Welcome to Midwest Motorsports, Assad. Glad you're here, man. I should recognize your helmet. I think it looks like a classic paint job on the helmet, but the Porsche's going through Ascari pretty good. Got the hammer down, first race with us. Hope you'll stick around. Glad you're here, man. All right, Michael Odell. Still trying to figure out how to get around Walker McNulty. Michael Odell is really good at stalking, prowling, waiting for the right time. Michael Odell spent some time at Mid-Ohio this weekend in a go-kart race. In real life, I can't imagine doing the full Indy circuit, including the bus stop after turn one, with your butt 2 inches off the ground in a go-kart with your foot on the floor the whole time. No seat belts. Go-kart flat out. He was leading the race until his engine blew up with 2 laps to go. So this is where he hones his skill. Side by side down the long front straight again. Just behind those guys, Justin Taylor completes the pass on David Stark. David Stark goes half a car wide just to make sure that he doesn't run over him. Keep your eye on the braking marker. The New Balance Porsche in between Justin Glickner and Justin Taylor now. Walker McNulty and Michael Odell for 5th. They keep doing this. Chase Fincher is going to catch back up to him. Michael Odell needs to go if he's going to go. I think Michael Odell just likes racing. I don't think he wants to do laps by himself. Not this time. No threat from Michael Odell. Just trying to force a mistake from Walker. Walker is smooth. Walker actually was the winner of the Cup Series race this past Sunday, just 2 days ago at Richmond. Walker McNulty winning on the Oval Series, now holding his own P5 in the Road Series at Monza. Oh, the battle for the lead is tightened up. Jason Phillips is on the bumper of Max Bauer. The slipstream has allowed him to catch up little by little by little. And we have a battle again with just under 20 minutes to go. We have passed the 20-minute mark. I guess we've passed the 40-minute mark. We have 20 to go. Dutch Bloom has lost touch. 4 seconds behind third place Brian Coxon now. Oh my gosh, we got battles again. David Stark gets around. No, that's right. Justin Glickner was looking inside David Stark. And now Travis Rowe, which allows Justin Taylor to pull away just a little bit, but Travis Rowe and Andrew Willis want to get around Justin Glickner. So the third Porsche in this line is Travis Rowe from Lynchburg, Virginia. Can he get around Justin Glickner? Glickner closes the door as they head under the bridge to the right left before the Lesmos. They off the gravel on the driver exit. Oh, Ian Bacaitis touches the gravel. Through Lesmo 1, David Stark a little wider line, carrying speed. Much speed as you can on the exit. Got another long straight. After this, every RPM you carry out of Lesmos 2 benefits you after the flat pink here, then downhill under the bridge, which is actually the oval track, the historic track. Travis Rowe looking inside Glickner. Doesn't shoot the gap. Now can Andrew Willis get a good run out? Get Travis Rowe. We'll see how they go. All right, down the front straightaway again. Jason Phillips, Max Bauer making his Aston Martin as wide as he possibly can. Jason Phillips and Brian Coxon once again fighting for the lead. The points leaders, we're riding with Brian Coxon, who has the point lead right now by only 100 points. Glickner still trying to get around David Stark. Can't make it happen. Or can he? Into the turn 1 chicane. Glickner gets him this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. DJ Barzak still here. We can go inside CJ Barzak. I spoke with him last week, and in the cockpit, he's got a reminder. In the top left, it's just behind the timing tower. There it is. Reminds him why he's here. To have fun. So if he ever gets caught up in a racing battle or gets mad at himself or makes a mistake, he has a reminder to have fun. Some drivers have their track map, maybe the pit sequence, or when they want to pit, or who their racing rivals are. Not CJ Barzak. He just wants to have fun, and that's a cool reminder. He is having fun, that's right. How can you not when you're racing this close with everybody and 4 wide for an hour? 60 minutes these guys have been nose to tail in their sim rig, working up a sweat, smiling from ear to ear. The Midwest Motorsports Series continues on. 2 more races to wind up the season. We go to the Chicago Street Course next. Anything can happen. Once again, signups are always open. Scan the QR code, take you to our website. Has all the instructions on the different leagues, which one you want to join, and how to join. Right now, CJ Barzak's got a front row seat on the battle up ahead for 10th, 11th, and 12th. Andrew Willis in the green. We're going 3 wide. I didn't think so. Good, smart move. Of course, if you're watching us on the Twitch stream, if you haven't already, give us a follow. If you have your Prime sub, we'd love to have you join us on the sub. Twitch.tv/Rivenvale, as you can see on the screen. Any chats, we'll try to respond as much as we can. DJ Barzak's got a lot of crews out there rooting for him, trying to give him that extra 10th he needs. But up front, it's still Max Bauer, Jason Phillips, Brian Coxon with Josh Bloom lurking in the background, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Max Bauer running just the perfect line, running just in the right place, placing his car just right that Jason Phillips can't get around. Now he pops out. He's alongside. He's at the door, side by side into turn 1 chicane. Here we go. Max Bauer takes it back. He leaves a little bit of space. Can't do it. And he still holds Brian Coxon off. Brian Coxon very patient there. Great racing, incredible racing. For 5th and 6th, Michael O'Dell and Walker McNulty still going at it. Don't look now, Chase Fincher has caught up. He's only 1.2, 1.3 seconds back now. So he's starting to get a benefit from the slipstream that Michael O'Dell and Walker McNulty are providing. Can Brian Coxon make a move on Jason Phillips for second? That would let Max get away, so maybe Brian Coxon wants to keep. I believe there's 25 points between positions, even at the top three. Brian Coxon and the McLaren were riding with him now. Fifth gear to get to sixth. The last minute. No, yep, just for a second. 148. Down to third. So smooth on the steering inputs, like he's done it before. Down to third, then right back up to fourth and fifth. I don't think he'll get up to sixth on the front stretch, but this is Brian Coxon, your points leader that we're riding with, as he watches the battle for the lead up ahead. Jason Phillips just poking his nose out to make sure he doesn't miss his braking zone. Get an eye on turn-in points. Big-ass fans paint team that Jason Phillips is known for. Approaching the 10-minute to go mark. 11:45 to go right now. Another absolutely incredible GT4 race in the Midwest Motorsports Series. Max Bauer runs a little wide, and now he has to go defense. Jason Phillips has no choice to go wide. He continues to put pressure on Max Bauer. Think he can get there. Remember, Max Bauer qualified second, so he's got the fast one-lap speed. We know that. He's been racing for 49 minutes already. Wickner and David Stark still going at it. Side by side, leaving space. Oh, a little contact there, a little hip check. CJ Barzak's going to get a spot. Ian Bakaitis now looking for a way around David Stark as well. CJ Barzak inside of Andrew Willis. CJ Barzak's fans at home on the edge of their seat. Oh, they touch. Oh, and he goes around. Oh, David Stark also. Oh, the first rule. What happens? CJ Barzak inside of Andrew Willis. Andrew Willis didn't leave room for him. CJ tries to avoid. Ends up they touch. Did not leave enough space. That's racing. Too bad. Coming down the last minute. Not that it was intentional, of course. Here we are up front once again. We're going to have to stay with this battle for a couple of minutes, I believe. I don't want to miss the pass. Max Bauer, Jason Phillips, Brian Coxon coming up on lap traffic now. How is this going to play into it? I believe it's Justin Shoup just ahead. Great job of pulling over and letting the leaders go. You get a good slipstream. Thanks, Justin. We appreciate you, brother. And around the parabolica they go. Walker McNulty, Michael Odell, Chase Fincher is there. He has caught up to him. Into the turn one chicane. Don't want to miss that. Thanks, Adam. Leaders are going through. 8 minutes to go. 8-minute mark. Michael Odell. Walker McNulty again driving the wide line. Lane and a half over. Chase Fincher eyeballing the battle up ahead. He's reeled him in. Now he's there. Does he make a move? Looking up at Michael Odell in the 56th Aston Martin. Taking the defensive line. Michael Odell he misses his braking point. And we got Assad going around right in front of that battle. Good job of staying off the line. Thanks, Assad. We appreciate you, man. Let's watch it again. Michael Odell misses his braking point as Walker McNulty turns in front of him. And Assad does a great job of getting out of the way. Walker does lose a spot to Chase Fincher, but that could have been way worse if he was in the way. And just Walker McNulty had a split second to make a decision, go left or right. Michael Odell, who blew the chicane, comes out ahead, and now he's going to give the spot back, I believe. I believe this is out of racing respect. I could be wrong. Might have to ask him later, as he does give up the spot to Walker too. That's definitely an intentional move. Professional racing here with all our Midwest Motorsports guys. You gotta love it. Much respect to everybody in this league. We have 25 GT4 cars racing, and this is why we have such high car counts even as the season winds down, because it's such a joy to run. The battle for the lead, still less than a second between the top three. You can throw a blanket over them. Coming up on the 5-minute mark, inside 6 minutes to go. You're going to have probably 2 laps after this one. This one and 2 more maybe. If you're Jason Phillips, how are you going to make your move? He really just needs to stay ahead of Brian Coxon, but it would be great if he could get a car in between Jason Phillips and Brian Coxon to get even a bigger advantage on the points before the final race next week. Creates a little bit of a gap so that he has room to get into slipstream, catch up, and get that momentum up. If you're right on the bumper on the exit of the corner, you do get in the draft. By the time you're on the bumper, you either have to lift or pop out, and that means you're in the wind. So you have to create a little bit of a gap on the exit of Ascari to get the draft, or you could do it at Parabolica and get it into turn 1, but not the finish line, because the finish line is not far after the exit of Parabolica, the final turn. So, okay, this one and 2 more is what I'm going to guess. Max Power taking a lot of the sausage curve, as well as Jason Phillips. He might be setting in now. These guys have been going at it for 56 minutes. And they're still running almost identical lap times to their qualifying lap time. Absolutely incredible. Thanks to our statistician who reminds me, Max Power's best lap was a 156.5. Last lap was a 156.6. 156.6 and a 156.8 for Jason Phillips. Brian Coxon 156.5 and 156.6 as their last and best. Even Josh Bloom, 156.6 to 156.7 last lap. So just lap after lap after lap. Perfectly consistent, which explains why they are 22 seconds ahead of 5th place. What an absolutely awesome race. Here we go, 2:35 to go. We're going to get this one in one more. Brian Coxon and Jason Phillips. Jason Phillips with the run. Jason Phillips goes wide to block. Max Bauer ran Jason Phillips wide and then ran Jason Phillips onto the defensive side. So Jason Phillips had to go back driver's left. Thankfully, Brian Coxon saw it coming. Oh, Walker McNulty with the drive-through. Too many X's. I believe the number is 15. 15 X and you have to do a drive-through. Walker been a bad boy. Jason Phillips for the lead. Into Lesmo 1. This is it. Jason Phillips has the racing line. Max Bauer is there. He leaves some space. You got Lesmo 2 coming up. Leaving space. Max Bauer on the outside. Jason Phillips not going to want to risk his championship and doesn't. Max Bauer holds strong. That's what happens when you leave space. That's what CJ Barzak and Andrew Willis missed.
I think you have to leave the space. All the time you have to leave the space.
All the time you have to leave the space, Alonso says. Max Bauer, Jason Phillips, Brian Coxon, 1, 2, and 3. Last year's champion, last season's champion, and the current points leaders, 1 and 2. Or 2 and 1. Max Bauer this time gets a little bit of assistance from Andrew Miller up ahead. Coming up on the final lap. White flag this time by. Max Bauer in the purple Aston Martin. Jason Phillips in the black and yellow Mercedes. Down the front stretch for the final time. Into turn 1, Max Bauer going hard defense all the way over on the pit exit. Jason Phillips braking on the outside. Brian Coxon charges. We got Andrew Miller up ahead. They leave. Oh, he goes in the gravel to avoid. Thanks, Andrew. We appreciate you, man. That's just super courteous. Josh Bloom is caught back up to this group, too. We'll see if there's any carnage. What absolutely incredible racing we are witnessing here. Up and down the field. Remember, Walker had too many X's, so he had to do a drive-through, so he has left this battle. Michael Odell, Lou Chicane, and Chase Fincher was awarded the position back thanks to the courtesy of Michael Odell instead of the stewards doing it. So here we go. Final time through Lesmo 2 down to Ascari. Everybody stays on the asphalt. To Ascari one more time. I'd say that's the perfect gap for Jason Phillips on Max Bauer. If they can get through Ascari, it's a little bit more exit speed than Max Bauer and then get in the slipstream without having to play defense on Brian Coxon. Let's see if he can do it and catch up. Here it is, all the exit RPM you can. Oh, it's going to be close. Flat out. Jason Phillips pushing his gas pedal through the floorboard, trying to get any extra RPM that he can. Max Bauer swerving to avoid any draft. Final time, Parabolica. Nobody makes a mistake. They went flawless lap after lap after lap for 60 minutes. And this is how it is. You could throw a blanket over the top 3, the top 4. Max Bauer first, Jason Phillips second, Brian Coxon third. What an absolutely incredible race. Oh, man. It just doesn't get any better than that. Midwest Motorsports GT4 at Monza. Less than a second between all 3. Less than 4/10 of a second between the top 3. Incredible. Travis Rose 6th. Justin Glickner 7th or 9th. Walker McNulty 10th. Even with the drive-through, still comes home with the top 10. But it's all Max Bauer for the win. What an incredible race. Ian Bakaitis is going to bring home the win in the AMs. DJ Barzak's going to bring it home P12. Taylor Montague, second in the AM division, P13. David Stark, P14, after getting involved in several extremely close battles, and then finally a hip check at the last minute. But your winner tonight, Max Bauer, the man of the hour, Max Bauer. Your winner from the 1 hour Monza race at Midwest Motorsports. There's the final results. I'm sure Max is smiling from ear to ear. We're going to give him a couple of minutes to get into the Discord race chatter, and we're going to talk with him. I'm sure he's going to say what we're all thinking, which is what an incredible race. See if I can send him a DM right quick. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk with Max. Come on, Max, get up in here, man. Or Ian Bakaitis, too, if you're listening. Would love to talk to Ian as he extends his points lead. Let's see if we can get Ian Bakaitis into Race Chatter for an interview. Looks like we do have the race winner. I'm going to bring him up. Or I'm going to try to. Why is move not one of my options now? Move 2. I don't know, maybe Adam can get me a little help going from Race Chatter up to broadcast. Oh, there it is. All right, we have Ian Bakaitis who wins the amateur division. And man, what a great race from Ian Bakaitis. Looks like he was by himself for a lot of it, but finally got free and was hanging out for a while. Ian, it's James up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, I do.
What a race, man. What'd you think from Monza? Tell me about it from your end.
It was a lot of straights and not a lot of corners.
Straight chicane. 90 chicane. Yeah. Well, it looks like you were having you were in a little 4 or 5 car train there for the first half of the race until the pit stop. Did you know exactly what you were going to do at the pit stop, or did you take tires? What was your strategy coming in?
I was kind of thinking that because there weren't a lot of corners, I could probably get away without tires, and I was trying to stay out as long as David Stark was, but obviously he must have just had a better fuel strategy, so I wasn't able to stay out as long. But once I was in, then it was just a splash and dash, just gas and go.
Right on. Well, that was definitely the right decision to make. And with Ty Williams and Niles Kula missing tonight, it's pretty clear that next week at Chicago is going to be a victory lap for you, right?
Yeah, hopefully. I just
All
have
right.
to not crash.
Yeah. Well, what do you think we're going to see next week at Chicago? Street course.
Next week's probably going to be probably. I don't want it to turn into a parking lot, but it might.
All right. Well, I hope not. Try to stay off the concrete walls. But congratulations on a great season, and you just put an exclamation point on it tonight. You deserve it. You've earned it. So congratulations on another great run tonight, Ian.
Thank you.
All right, that's Ian Bakaitis, your race winner from Monza in the AM division. And in the pros, you have Max Bauer, who has been missed a couple of races this season due to travel and other reasons, but tonight he reminded us why he was last season's champion. Congratulations, Max, on a great race.
Thank you, James, and hi and welcome, everyone. It was a freaking intense race, I tell you. I'm still shaking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're still shaking. Huh? I was wondering, what you were thinking when you and Jason Phillips, even Josh Bloom at the beginning, it seemed like you guys broke away and were just cranking out consistent laps. We talked about that as the race was winding down. Your best lap was a 156.5, and your last laps were like 156.6 and 156.6. So just absolutely incredible consistency from all four of you guys.
Well, yeah. For me personally, it didn't feel like there was enough consistency, Because I did so many tiny mistakes and gave Jason the opportunity to catch up with me, even though I was more than 1.5 seconds ahead of him after the pit stop. Yeah, and so I made it hard for myself. Plus, on top of that, my problem was that I was underfueled, so I was forced to save some fuel as well, which made it even more difficult.
I did notice that your pit stop was 29.4, and the other guys were 30.4 and maybe like a 31.4 stopped. So it was all really down to the undercut and the time flowing down to the pit lane speed, time coming through the gears, and the time from pit lane speed to your box. Did you know you were going to undercut and from that position? Because I believe you were third coming into the pits.
Yeah, I was third all the way through until the pit stop. And in the beginning, I was struggling to keep up, but they started to fight in the front. This gave me the opportunity to catch up with them and be in the draft of Jason. But I was just seeing we are losing more time by fighting, so I decided to pit early so I have a clean racetrack ahead of me, which in the end gave me the advantage, and so I was coming out at the very top.
Okay, so do you know ahead of time when you come out of the pits if you're gonna be in traffic, or is it just a gamble that you have to take that you undercut, you're gonna make your decision, and whoever's in front of you is in front of you? Because a lap car or if there was a 4-car train fighting for position might make it difficult for you to complete the undercut.
It was very difficult, and in the end, a little help by the global map overview helped me make my decision, because I was watching it and was like roughly calculating how long it takes me and is there a gap for me. And it looked perfect, so I was just deciding, okay, let's do it right now. So maybe I can save more time by pitting early than being third all the way through to the pit stops, and losing more time by not getting by and having to brake early,
Yep. Well, again, you're showing off your racing IQ, and congrats on a great win. Again, it's good to see you back on form again, Max, and we hope you'll come back next week for the Street of Chicago. Just give you a chance to have any shout outs before we let you go.
A big shout out to Jason. A huge, intense fight it was. I tell you, man, it kept. I'm still shaking, because I was doing mistakes, a tiny mistake over there, and I was forced to defend. I had the bad line with less grip, and still was able to keep ahead of him. Man, phew. I have to take a breath.
That's awesome. Well, you had about as much fun as we did, and I'm glad to hear it. The excitement in your voice says it all, man. Thanks a lot for putting on a show for everybody, Max, and we hope to see you again next week and next season as well. Congratulations on a great victory tonight.
Thank you, James. Thanks for having me, and we will see us next week.
All right, look forward to it. That's Max Bauer, your race winner. The GT4 series, the grid's on the screen overlooking the famous Monza track. Next week, we go to the concrete tunnel of Chicago Street Course. We hope you'll join us next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock practice, 7:30 race time. And for Josh Watt running the broadcast, Adam Sondag running the cameras. Thanks a lot, Adam. I'm James J, reminding you to stay in your lane.